Nick, when you're working it, you gotta be gentle when you put your hands on it. You just can't ram your mouth on it.
I like holding my mic when we record. I feel very strong.
Right now, I'm excited by the way you were holding that.
I don't know what to do with my hands during recording.
This feels like Patreon.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of any gender preference, people who don't subscribe to any genders whatsoever,
Or to this show.
people who don't consider themselves people.
No, if you don't subscribe to the show, we're not greeting you.
Welcome to Keeping
where I
Up
draw
with the Kardashians,
where
a
I draw the
proud
line.
Yeah.
affiliate of Bill Brown Ford. Think Ford first.
Subscribe.
Nice.
Like.
My favorite
comment,
part of this
end the
podcast
show.
is where we just interject ourselves into like commercial sponsorships
Yes, and they don't even know
without the
it.
knowledge of the other.
Sponsored
Yes.
by Cinnabon.
Sponsored by Cinnabon.
Dip your balls in it.
If we had listeners, we would get flagged.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
would. Yeah, we would get flagged.
Luckily, nobody listens to this.
But thank you for our salsa advertiser. What is the salsa brand? Give me.
We do have
What's
an
the one that does New York
Chuck and-
City?
Chuck and Dave's is salsa.
New York City
video exclusive for the record.
video exclusive.
Yeah.
I'm Nick, by the way.
I don't care.
That's Rob,
This is Joe.
and that's Joe. There
I
we go.
guess.
So anyway, we are a podcast that focuses on pop culture news, including movies, TV shows, comics, music.
That stuff.
That kind of stuff, you know.
Yeah,
We're not going to get into talking about who's dating who like Joe wants us to talk about. We're not going to talk about
Why?
T Swizzle dating Travis Kelce, even though good for T Swizzle, good for Travis Kelce. That's
Which era
good
are you?
of T Swizzle.
Yeah, which era would you be?
I actually do prefer her later eras. I prefer her right now. I think she's a dang impressive
So
singer.
you're a Midnight's era.
Sure, if that's what that is. I mean, I don't
think
really.
I'm 1989 era.
That's a good album, though. That is a great album. I don't care who you are.
Very
That's a
good.
good album. Listen to it. I know you don't like pop music. Yes, you do. You like Mariah.
Mariah from the 90s.
Yeah.
That's pop music,
That
bro.
that girl could sing.
Yeah, she could sing.
Taylor's not.
That's the third week in a row we've brought up Mariah Carey.
Okay. Noted.
Keep it going, guys.
Keep it going full steam.
I know why we have all this energy.
Why?
Strike's over, baby.
Strike's over. Writer's strike.
is over.
But there's some good news with that. So first of all, before we delve into
Yeah,
all
that's
that
the one we're
good
talking
stuff,
about. We're not an auto podcast.
you know,
or like
we're going to catch you up on all this stuff. And as you-
UAW is still striking.
And as you know, the
And-
second half of this,
and the
oh my
actors.
gosh, these people will not let me finish my
The
sentence.
actors, yeah. Who gives a
They're
rat's
not
ass
going to
about
know
the
what's
actors?
happening in our show.
Yeah.
Why are the actors are they striking for? Is it the AI reasons?
They want breaks.
Breaks.
Just work it into your contract.
Breaks.
Can I introduce the listener? They're so confused right now.
Patreon, guys, you can go there.
They're angry. If they tuned in for
YouTube
the
is-
first time, they are over this show.
Yeah, they are. Well, anybody who listens to it on a regular basis.
No,
just
you're
as-
not. Mama Nana said you're not allowed to insult us like that.
I do what I want.
Don't.
Friend of the show.
Nana visitor. So
Guest star
we
guest-
are going to.
on Patreon.
I'm muting you too. There we go. Here we go.
I can still
There we go.
loudly.
So this week, or today, we're going to start off by talking about all this pop culture stuff. But the second half of the show, we got 2 Battlestar Galactica episodes to go into, The Hub and Revelations. But that's the second half of the show. We're going to get into reviewing those. Yes.
Third half.
There you go.
Okay.
Now I brought you back. Can you handle it, boys?
Probably not.
No.
We got scolded.
Timeout never works.
It did
It-
kind
it
of.
does.
You looked a little disappointed in
I
yourself.
was. You know what? I took it seriously. I did not even speak.
And he
Rob,
didn't.
Rob was being rude for the both of us.
He's the kid who, like, when he was a kid and he got spanked, he's like, other cheek now. Like,
Yeah.
He didn't
That's
even
something
care.
else. That's not when I was a kid.
True. True story.
that was last week.
True
That
story.
was a few minutes ago.
Oh dear. But like, you know, there's those kids where they get spanked and they're like, "Why, bro?
Do it again.
Bring it.
Do it again.
Bring it." You know, they double down. They think they're tough.
Yes. Child school shooters is what they're referred to.
I actually think it's the opposite. Well,
No, it's not the opposite.
it's
They
either
grew-
the helicopter parents that make the school shooter kids, or it's the completely like totally
Are you
hands off.
diagnosing them live on air?
Well, like think about the kid, the Oxford shooter. If you heard this poor kid's, I know it's weird to say poor kid because he murdered, you know, other students, but like you hear this testimony of what this kid put up with, and it's sad. Like the parents made him into what he was, and it's just heartbreaking.
Can you euthanize the parents too, or
I mean, they're undergoing criminal charges for.
Good.
They're
I
the
say
first parents
bypass
ever
the
charged.
criminal charges and
euthanize?
yeah.
Let's do it.
I know you're game. Anytime you can kill a person, you're game, which is just weird and creepy.
Why
But,
not?
yeah,
I mean, if it's
it
just,
works for you, Rob.
It does.
It does.
If you're good at. Wait, no.
Okay.
So let's talk about this writer's strike real quick. It officially ended. I don't think they've signed the contract yet.
I don't think they have. I think it's a few more weeks of like
Yeah.
fine tuning things.
Yeah, exactly.
Allegedly.
So that is over. And once that ended, like right away, WB reinstated a bunch of their, you know, how I told you a few weeks ago, they'd taken deals off the table for certain producers and directors. They've already reinstituted them. They brought them back. I can't remember who it was.
Bill Lawrence is back, baby.
That was one of them. Yeah.
Scrubs.
You know what the
Season
first,
10.
You know what the first thing was that I learned after I learned the writer's strike was over. The first piece of news that they were going to reboot The Office.
I have that on my
Are
list.
they officially doing that?
There's
There's
been
talks.
all week long everywhere. It's the rebooting of The Office. So I would like to ask the question:
I thought, is this what they were fighting over?
How?
How do you reboot it?
Like
It would have to.
it would be. Would it be another neutered night court?
It's going to be a neutered night court. It's gonna,
No, I don't think so. I don't. Well, because we have moved pretty far past the humor of The Office in society.
Well, because Michael Scott by himself did all these dumb
but
things.
Michael Scott, as we know from the last 3 seasons of The Office, was it?
they
without-
relied on
without
him.
Scott?
Yeah.
Without
Without.
But Dwight did some of the same things.
No, but I'm saying he was the motor that drove that show.
Oh yeah, I agree.
So
he did motorboat
if
that show.
if
yes.
they're going to just
Motorboating's
if
great.
they're just going to bring back the cast and just re-up for another season,
It's a reboot though.
I know. So
That's a redo.
So then they're going to have to is Jim does Jim take over? Who's going to be involved? Because he was talked to. Rainn Wilson was talked to.
about being it. So
There's
it's
no
not
way
a,
John Krasinski comes back.
He was in discussion. He was in the discussion.
That's a bad idea for them to come
I
back.
don't know.
That's a bad. Like I could see. Here's if,
Do you want? But I don't
Will
want.
they
It
do
to,
a
I don't want it
conti-
to be Saved by the Bell, the new class, though.
well, that's if. So you reboot.
But it could be Star Trek: The Next Generation.
So The Office and no, here's the thing though. The Office ended with Jim and Pam moving to Austin, Texas, and Dwight still running the branch in whatchamacallit. I can't remember the name of it. Scranton.
I was gonna let him suffer.
Scranton. What? So how do you bring Jim back? Like his business fails? That's
No,
you can't. The
a
whole point
new
is
branch.
a new branch. So you follow a branch in Texas and Dunder Mifflin.
What
and
was his
they're-
business? I forget.
Athlete.
Oh,
Where
that's right.
They represented the athletes.
It's based in quote unquote reality, so there's a number of things you can
Snap
do.
back to reality. Oh, there
But-
goes gravity.
I don't even know why we mentioned words.
Can we do
words trigger him?
All the
Can we
time.
write a sitcom just called HR where all the fun things HR gets to deal with?
That would be great.
It would be great, but it's got to be somewhat taboo.
If you're going to reboot Office, start with a whole new cast of characters. Start with a totally different feel to it. Do not make it like
The Office.
You know what they should do is in the writers' room say, you know what we should do? Reboot The Office, and someone say, yeah, that would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? Crumple the piece of paper up and throw it in the garbage and move on to an original idea.
I mean, that's true as well.
because you don't touch. You really cannot touch The Office.
Well, and there's a reason.
What are they gonna
The
reboot?
Office was in decline at the end, and the reason why is people were over it. They needed to. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
part of it was the comedy wasn't as funny, but they were over it. They were done with The Office.
Why am I blanking on the actor?
Which one?
John,
Michael Scott.
Michael, no, Scott, no.
No,
Oh my
I don't know why
gosh,
I'm
he was in 40-Year-Old Virgin.
I know.
He.
Rob, do you know it?
Oh my gosh, people are yelling at the
I know.
right now.
No. I
Pete
don't know.
Davidson. If they bring back Pete Davidson,
Steve Carell.
Steve Carell. Yes.
Wow, we all
Thank you, listeners. All 3 of you who yelled at
I got
yeah.
it. I heard it in my headphone.
Yeah.
I got it.
So, without Steve Carell, there's going to be no successful Office reboot. I will 100% guarantee it.
Well, it's hold on.
But they're not gonna
Let's
get him.
play a game here real quick. If you were to recast Steve Carell, who could do it?
Steve Carell.
today.
Or Michael Scott. I mean, yeah.
Steve Carell.
I'm trying to think of somebody, and like, there's nobody that does. That humor isn't out there in the ethos right now.
No.
Steve Carell wasn't that sort of. I mean, he was on the Daily Show.
He became.
That's where he came from.
that.
And Bruce Almighty, where he was basically the same character ish.
Bruce Almighty was after he did The Office.
Was it?
Yes. Or during.
No.
Yes.
Fact check that.
Fact check.
Bruce Almighty
2003.
was 2003.
Nailed it.
Was that 2003?
I
The
used to say
Office was
2003.
2005.
Told you. Don't.
But
you
he
don't
had
need
a
fact check. You asked me what year the Bruce Almighty came
I
out.
was
I'll tell you.
thinking. I was thinking
2003.
of the other one. They made a sequel where he was the lead.
Oh yeah, that's
That's
terrible.
what I was thinking of. I
Terrible.
forgot that he was the
Terrible.
newscaster in there. Where you did the blue 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 blue.
Nobody, but that's the thing. Nobody can fill that role. They went through this. They went through this in real time and tried to find somebody who they even brought in.
Yeah, they brought in Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell.
They brought in. Oh my gosh, the guy who was like, I'm the Lizard King.
James Spader? No,
They did
Oh,
bring him
James
James Spader.
James Spader. Yes,
he was
James-
great in Boston Legal though.
they brought in.
They had Idris Elba.
They did have Idris Elba, and he was terrifying in his role.
Yeah.
Like, in a good way.
That's racist,
Um,
Nick.
Wow. Truth comes out.
They brought in other ones as well. They Will Arnett was one of the
Oh, that's
bosses who were interviewed as well.
Oh, you know who I think? I would cast. I know exactly who I would cast if they would do this. Jason Bateman.
Yes,
Not too old?
No,
he's in his late
Jason Bateman
mid 50s.
is funny. He's funny in a different way than Michael Scott. So you wouldn't step if they could recast him not as Michael Scott, but even if they did recast him as a new Michael Scott, and it's just a complete revision. Jason Bateman would be
But
my guess.
you
Would be
think
my answer.
So you think about The Office was based off of the UK counterpart. Their character was not named Michael Scott. It was David Brent.
Right.
Like, so they changed, and then they did have a Jim, and they did have a Dwight in that, but they created a whole new boss. So I don't think you do not give them the same name. You can't,
And
No,
I'm not
I-
because
interested-
then the comparison will always be there.
and I'm really not into an Office idea without the adversarial nature of Jim and Dwight. That was half the fun for me. All the pranks and everything.
Yeah.
That was half the fun for me.
So I would start with Bateman
Mm-hmm.
and start and go from there. If I were to cast a Michael Scott type lead, because he's funny, he's incredibly funy. He's
what about
he's way more dry and witty
what's her name?
than Scott, where he was then I'm forgetting his name again.
Then
Steve Carell?
Carell.
That's Steve Carell. But I think I think Bateman could do whatever the role cast.
There is two SNL people that I think could actually
Pete
maybe
Davidson?
pulled off. No, Cecilia Strong
Oh,
and Heidi Gardner. I think one of those two could
Well,
be that.
she's in Smigadoon right now with
What did you just tell me?
Smigadoon.
You too.
She's not on it right now. Cecily Strong.
Yeah.
She's left. She does Smigadoon with not Jordan Peele.
Cecily
no.
Strong is not. She has left.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I think one of those two actresses,
Who was the other one?
Cecily Strong and
Heidi Gardner.
Heidi Gardner.
Why do I not know Heidi Gardner?
Oh, I know who
She's
you're
on the show
talking
now.
about.
Oh, I know her.
Yeah. She's
I could see her as like a not as
not a Pam, but like
Who was Dwight's crush?
Oh,
Angela?
Angela. I could see her as like an Angela type role.
I think her personality could pull it off. At least what she's portrayed on the
I
show
could see
and
her
other shows.
being more of a Ryan on the show, like the
You're a
person
Ryan.
who's aspiring to be something great, crashes and burns, and then
Hey, Joe,
becomes
who's
like
the Toby on the show? That guy.
Nick.
Yeah, he's HR right here.
yeah. I would be the HR guy. I'm almost confident of it.
On our show, yes, you would.
Yes, I would be. Oh gosh. So don't bring The Office back.
Yes.
Is really the moral of the story.
Absolutely.
If you do, bring it back with Jason Bateman.
Yes, but don't bring it back
No.
because the American Office is like dead anyways. I mean, would the whole series be based around the whole idea of COVID killed the in-person
No,
office?
the whole
I think they
plot
could-
would be they bring them back to the office for the first time after being gone for COVID for a
See,
while.
this is why I think it could work if you reboot it. But if you, what I think you should reboot it as is not the same cast, new cast, but The Office is the documentary, the people looking into The Office. You know what I mean? Like the documentary crew recording. That's The Office. The Office isn't the people. You get to learn a new group of people.
A new place. A sequel, essentially.
And it's bringing people back. Yeah, it's bringing people
So
back
it's
to
like
work. It's working remotely.
So it was such a successful thing that they premiered at the end of The Office that they decided to make another season of it with a new cast as they come back into The Office after COVID.
Yep.
And I think that premise
because their documentary got so huge during. We should write this shit, man.
See, now you're getting me excited about a stupid Office reboot that should
we're
not
writing.
happen.
That we're writing.
Yes.
Have you seen Behind
And
the Pod?
lead,
We're geniuses.
the lead character is going to be Michael Scarn. Never been done before.
No,
Never been
not
done.
at all.
First time ever. Yeah, it's
Scott
gonna
Michael.
Scott Michael.
The adversary will be DeWitt.
You're such an
that'd be-
idiot, DeWitt.
That'll be his last name.
Yes.
The other guy will be James.
Mm-hmm.
There's got to be a Karen in the office.
Karen,
There has to.
a Karen Filippelli.
We need to write this.
Yeah, because the Karen now takes on a
Strike's
whole different
over.
approach.
We can write.
Yeah, we need to.
Yeah, we'll have a Sam instead of a Pam. We're gonna reverse the genders. Sam's the receptionist,
Sam's gender fluid.
and Jim is really
Janelle.
Janelle, and she sells paper, and she has a crush.
Sam is gender fluid.
Yeah.
I know, but
No, the character on the show.
oh yes,
No, this is an HR department. That's where we're going with it.
No, but you have to be inclusionary, and then you can make your humor from there. You can once you include everybody,
then you make fun
can
of them.
start offending them.
Yeah, everyone.
Attack.
That's how it works.
attack.
Let's just get
Everyone.
stand-up comedians to do it all,
Mm-hmm.
and
I want Bill Burr to be the office
yes.
manager.
You know, just yelling at everyone the whole time.
yes,
You could.
but old Bill Burr because he's got a little soft.
No, that's the one you can use.
He's married and has a kid now. He's
I
gotta
Don't care.
That's the one you use because he's softened up. It's easier. Yeah.
Not a fan.
Okay, moving on from the office news, there's some other things I want to report.
office news that we didn't completely make up, but beyond their looking into the reboot
Patreon,
was
we're actually
all
gonna-
our idea.
Actually, on Patreon, we're going to do an outline of the season 1.
We're gonna actually record the first episode of the pilot.
Don't challenge me.
No,
We could do it.
Don't
No.
challenge me.
No.
I think between Rob and I throwing ideas at each other, we could write at least a Netflix 10 episode run.
I bet you we could.
Joe, do not sit here and commit to something.
I'm not committing to it. I'm saying that we could throw ideas at each other.
100%.
Gosh, you guys are the worst.
We could get 3
In
episodes.
other news,
We could get 3 episodes written down by the end of this show.
in other news,
And then we can get the
We already have the
Patreons-
pilot.
Yeah.
in other news,
And Patreon perk is
Dang
that they
it.
can help us write stories.
folks, they're I've lost them. They're gone. They're gone. All right, Star Trek.
I want to do a pilot.
We'll never get paid a cent for
Hey,
this.
I want to do a pilot.
Okay, deal.
All right.
Couple Star Trek news, Star Trek updates. So first of all, Star Trek 4 is actually currently being written, according to the writer of it.
Bullshit.
Is still in the works at it, and the writer is
Full of crap.
Lindsay Anderson Beer. She is the one who's been
And made up.
yes. So she is currently writing it.
Lindsay Beer?
Matt Shackman
What
was
else
brought
has
on
she
to
written? What else
direct
has this
it.
person written?
Max Scheckman left, didn't he? He left to do something else.
None left because of scheduling conflicts.
Well, because
Yeah.
it was taking forever to make.
Right, exactly. So theoretically, that's still in the works.
It's not.
It's, who cares?
Have either of you heard of Lindsay Anderson Beer?
No.
No.
Okay, can we look this person up?
Yes.
What else
Lindsay
have they have done?
Anderson.
Well, he's looking it up.
Beer.
Other Star Trek news is that they're releasing a legacy collection, a 54-disc set, all the Next Generation seasons, all 4 movies, and all of Picard.
God damn.
Yeah, it's going to be nasty expensive.
54. Is that 54 Blu-rays?
I think it's Blu-ray.
Holy
Like,
smokes.
who's going to buy DVD?
I still buy DVDs sometimes.
Do you? Blu-ray or die.
Well, I buy Blu-ray for I buy DVDs for my like,
you're not
old
going to.
stuff.
Oh, this is not going to go well.
Oh, no.
Okay. So a couple things before I get to this. Here's another. Okay. Here we
What
go.
did she write? Season 3 of American Dad or something?
Or season 1
she
through
wrote
3 of
something
Battlestar
called
Galactica.
she wrote Pet Cemetery Bloodlines, which
Jesus
is
Christ.
currently in post production. Bambi. So
The Disney movie?
Apparently they're doing a Bambi.
A live action?
Apparently so.
It's actually just a hunting documentary.
A reboot of Short Circuit.
Oh, come on.
She is doing the Silver Sable movie, a Sony movie, a Spider-Man movie, and the untitled Star Trek Beyond prequel.
Wait. Prequel?
The Star Trek Beyond. Oh, sequel. Why did I say prequel? Yeah. So I mean,
So
there's
back to Short Circuit getting a reboot or a sequel.
Speaking of things you may not want to reboot,
Johnny Five.
Johnny number
You
5?
can't. You can't do. You couldn't have that.
Yeah,
Character.
because there's nothing funny about like a little like someone creates an AI robot now because like that's our real
It's
world.
reality. It's scary.
And we're terrified of it. We're all going to lose our job. The UAW is facing that right now.
The actors and writers kind of we're on strike about that. So you want a writer to write a movie about an AI taking over people's jobs?
Mm.
I mean, it writes itself.
Yeah.
And the robots in our office reboot.
Yeah.
Oh, there will be AI now.
Naturally.
Yeah, Johnny, it's absolutely
'Cause
happening.
You're cool with the HR like office area, right?
Yeah, one of our salesperson uses ChatGPT for their sales pitch,
And it works too, I bet.
and they're the highest grossing
I was gonna-
salesperson.
That's
and
the-
they use ChatGPT.
This is what's so
Yeah.
scary is it works.
So when do you have time to sit down and write a pilot?
I should be writing these things down as I speak.
So we can listen to the show.
In other
That's
news,
true.
back in the day, Warner Brothers wanted Leonardo DiCaprio to play the Riddler in Nolan's Dark Knight movies. They were pushing really hard for DiCaprio.
That would have been awful.
I don't think it would have been because it was Christopher Nolan. He would have made it good.
Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight Rises is not bad per se. It's just not up to the
How do
quality
you?
of
What
the
do you
other ones.
see the Riddler as in Nolan's?
A lighter version of the Riddler in the Batman. Just a slightly lighter version.
I don't know that I like DiCaprio for that role.
I do because he did right around that time is when he did the role for Django. I almost envision it as kind of a Django style character with that like wit and that anger that he had to him.
When you're done with this, I got to piggyback off your Christopher Nolan mention.
Mm-hmm,
But
you do.
forgive my ignorance.
You're forgiven.
Has DiCaprio ever worked with Nolan before?
No. Yes.
Inception.
That's right. Okay.
And
I was gonna say
And that movie's
part of the
crap,
reason
man. I love it.
Django Unchained worked was because
I still want
it
an
was
Inception
it's,
sequel.
It's just
Oh, me too.
what's his name?
Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, he has a little bit of that Martin Scorsese in him, where he works with
You guys are setting me up.
the same.
Oh, I think I know where
You
you're
have
going.
no idea where I was going to go with this, but you both just set me
I
up.
know
Oh
what
no,
you're
the
gonna
Killer of
say.
the Flower Moon.
No, you're going
No.
to talk about Martin Scorsese's current comments about comic book movies.
Yeah. So
Oh, what did he say?
a fun thing about Martin Scorsese is that he was back on bashing comic book movies, which by all means have fun with it. But he was blasting them while saying we need original directors that do original material, like Christopher Nolan, who did Batman movies.
His whole point, I totally am on Martin Scorsese's side. He says, I don't like comic book movies now because they're copy and paste. They are formulaic. They basically is like a chat GBT thing. Like you put it in and you get the plot. There's nothing original to it. The Dark Knight trilogy was original.
Okay,
It was different than anything
listen.
that had been
Batman
done
is
at
a
that
comic book character. That's a reality, right? That's a comic book character. Those films are not comic book movies.
They're not.
Those are
until you introduce Bane and then the fake out with Talia. But that's why the film has problems, I think.
Yeah, but the first two, I mean, are based very firmly in a
real
reality,
world, yeah.
a real
and
world.
based on source material.
I mean, even you think about it, the third one kind of does
Yes,
in some
but-
sense that the guy's knees are shot, like his body is broken down after just 18 months as Batman. That would really track for a real human being. There's no way.
But
So you or me.
But to Scorsese's comments, Nolan's take on comic book films was original. It wasn't a Marvel movie.
But-
I think he's talking about Marvel and current DC. What they're
Yes.
trying to do is
look up his comments, because I don't know if he realized that Nolan did a comic book quote unquote movie.
I bet you I don't know. I bet you he doesn't realize it, but I think in spite of that ignorance, I think his point still stands. Unless there's unless there's
Nick's
The
guessing
danger there is what they're doing to our culture, because there are going to be generations now that think movies are only these. That's what movies are. They already think that, he continued, which
Yes.
means that we have to fight back and stronger, and it's got to come from a grassroots level. I do think that the manufactured content isn't really cinema.
I agree.
No, I don't want to say it, but what I mean is it's manufactured content. It's almost like AI making a film.
Yes.
That's his point. Christopher Nolan was not AI making a Batman movie.
Right.
It was very different than any Batman movie had been made. Then you get into the DC movies now. The Batman doesn't feel like an AI made Batman movie.
The Joker did not.
Now Batman versus Superman does.
Did it though?
Yeah, because it was late. It was a terrible plot. It was like
It's a terrible movie.
AI might have done a better job.
yeah, probably would have actually.
I think he just went too deep into the dark
AI would
part.
not have cast Ben Affleck.
But would have casted Gal Gadot.
Yeah. I mean, you win some, you lose some.
Would we have the warehouse scene?
Maybe.
So here's another. He says, and that doesn't mean you don't have incredible directors and special effects people doing beautiful artwork. But what does it mean? What do these films? What will it give you aside from a kind of consummation of something and then eliminating it from your mind, your whole body? You know. So what is it giving you?
What did The Irishman give me?
I don't know. I didn't watch
That's
The
pretty-
Irishman.
Pompous statement.
The Irishman?
I
Yeah.
get that.
You didn't like it?
That was all right, but
Film-
what did it give me?
It gave you an original story.
That's
But
fair.
you know what? You've made the same exact argument. If I asked you to talk about the original The Avengers movie versus the current The Marvels coming out, The Avengers gave you something. The current Marvels is like, right? You
Yeah.
would argue his point.
I get it. I'm just saying that from him, I think the point that he's arguing is different from the point I'm arguing. Like
I
got
don't
it.
think it's that.
I
I
don't
don't think
think
it's
it
that
is.
different.
Okay.
I think,
I think
you
maybe
and
the-
Scorsese are on the same page.
I think what I've gathered from this is I don't think he's saying all comic book movies are bad. He's saying he's extracting the ones that are artistic statements or are pieces of work and saying these are good representations of comic book films. The rest, the probably 80% of what has been put out in the last 15 years is just copy paste. It's there's
More
nothing
recently,
original.
yeah.
Or it's a puzzle piece. It's a piece to something else. It doesn't really doesn't really give you much in a vacuum.
It doesn't reward the fan who wants to come in and watch one film and get out.
That's fair.
The fact that that there are how many 24 in the Infinity War?
I'm not sure anymore.
20, I think it's 22 or 24 films. And you can watch
23.
maybe 23. Not bad. You can watch
Joe. I'm right all the time.
it happens. I can't tell you.
Fracking deal.
But you can watch like maybe 8, 9
yeah.
and get the story.
Yeah, you can. You
The
don't
fact that over half of them are just filler
Mhm.
proves his point.
With that first series, though, a lot of them were still entertaining and gave me entertainment.
Yes, and I think he would agree with you because those were
I really think you
because
and him would
we
agree.
hadn't moved to that point, and
I interpret maybe his response as something that maybe it wasn't.
probably I think you think he's more anti comic book movie than he is just he's pro good cinema.
He's anti studio produced comic book movie.
Yeah, and he's anti-studio produced anything, right? Like he's a very let me do my thing as a director. Let me have my vision. Don't get your hands involved. What is Marvel notorious for doing? Meddling in the affairs of the film.
Yeah, see?
Yeah. A wise guy, eh? Anything else, gentlemen?
Are you guys going to see Killers of the New Flower Moon?
No.
No. I don't even know what it is.
I'll see it
Scorsese.
someday. It's tracking for a $24 million opening, which is very impressive for a film of that quality or film of that type.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Yeah. I do want to see it. I remember seeing the trailer for it going, "Oh, this looks solid." I don't need to run to the theater to see it. I'm going to say creator, which you two never even heard of.
I did.
I saw it.
Oh my gosh!
There was a trailer for it in either a movie that we saw or one of the concert films that I saw.
I think it was on.
Because isn't it an A24 film?
Was it on Mission Impossible
Yeah, I think so.
when we saw it?
Was it?
It might have been attached to Mission Impossible.
I mean, the reviews for
It was because
out of this world.
I had seen it. I've seen that trailer twice in the theater.
Yeah, the reviews are out of this world. They've already talked about how amazing the score is.
Is that a pun?
No, because it's based on this world.
I know, but that's a pun.
Out of this world?
Yeah.
Because it's not based in this world.
Keep going.
It's based in a make-believe world. So it's
We're going to Earth, baby.
Welcome to Earth. Na 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 na.
So the pilot.
Yeah. It's half written already.
My gosh. All right, we're moving on. We ready to move on to Battlestar?
I'm still on the pilot, man.
No, we're not doing the pilot right now. Can I write the theme song?
Yeah, sure.
No.
I'm in. Hey, let's let them have something.
Yeah, you go ahead.
It's gonna be the
Theme?
it's gonna be the
Write-
old school toy
Write
time.
the theme song.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the old toy time song.
Can it just be? I just want it to be you humming the original Office theme song. That's what I want.
Remember we said we had 3 listeners? It's 2 now.
Yeah.
Scranton, what? The Electric City. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going into Battlestar here. We got 2 episodes to review today.
Pornhub.
We got the hub.
Oh,
I thought it was Pornhub.
yeah.
It's not.
I watched the wrong movie.
You did.
I
You
did.
watched the,
I thought because there were major
which is
plot,
funny because you were
major-
watching it for hours. And
major plot
When
twist.
666 was up there on screen having fun, I was like, man, this is a great episode. I gave it a 9 out of 10.
I gave it a 6 and 9 out of 10.
Yeah. Hey, got a question for you. If 6, 6, and 6 were able to go at it, and 6 and 6 and 6,
Devil's Three-Way.
yeah, is that ancestral?
Also, I can't believe I'm on this podcast. It's like
I think the word is incestuous.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
If we want to get technical,
Yeah.
I say no. Go for it.
Yeah.
we haven't seen any of the models actually like kiss their current model, have we?
No, they don't really like each other.
They don't really. They're a dysfunctional family, which really
Based on
tracks.
these episodes, I don't think we're going to. Right?
I mean,
They blew up the hub, right?
yeah, but they're still the other ones are. Oh,
I know.
Yeah, the ones that are alive are the only ones.
Yeah,
that
you
will be
don't.
alive
You'd
now.
only have a chance with the.
You don't
you're the
resurrect
same models
now.
that are alive now.
Yeah. Your choices are limited.
Yeah, your chances have just dwindled.
You got to
severely.
work with used merchandise now because they ain't getting new fresh bodies. All right, into the episode, the hub. This whole episode takes place with the Cylons on their ship, and it
Pornhub.
takes place. It takes place 2 days ago. So as you know, the last episode ended with Adama waiting in his Raptor for them. So this episode picks up what's going on with them. And we find out that every time they start jumping, Rosalind has visions, and she has visions with Alosha, the priest, and they're basically walking through the ship the whole time she has these visions. And as she's having these visions, the hybrids are jumping closer and closer to the base star, and they're getting closer and closer, and they decide now it's time for the mission where they're going to go blow up the hub, and they're going to do it without the help of the Galactica because they basically have no choice. So they while all this is happening, she continues to have her visions, and in her visions she sees herself dying, and Alosha says, your problem is you don't love anyone. Like you're so disconnected from humanity. You're just like, you exist here. You don't do anything else, and she's like, no, you're full of crap. And then she sees the vision of Adama dying, or she sees a vision of her dying with Adama reading to her, and he puts his wedding ring on her finger and everything. And oh, so cute, so sad. And as she's having these visions, they jump into the hub to attack the hub, and Baltar, being Baltar, does a couple things. So first of all, he's trying to explain to the president how to talk to the hybrid, and clearly he doesn't know what he's doing. And then once he realizes that's going nowhere, he starts to proselytize to a mechanical raider. He's like, or to a mechanical Cylon, and that Cylon gets destroyed, but then he gets a big wound, and so Rosalind has to take care of him, and as she's covering his wound and he's starting to bleed out, she gives him morphine, and that's where he admits, like, hey, it's my fault. I gave him the codes. Like, it's my fault. All this is my fault, but God has forgiven me, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, looks like you bleeding out now, bro. And she takes off the thing and starts letting him bleed out. But then in her vision, she realizes, no, look, I can't do that. I can't kill him. Like, that's not cool. Like, I'm not going to do that. So she saves his life. They go on a mission, destroy the hub. The hub is now gone. They take one of the Cylon models there, Deanna, who is now officially the last Deanna model because all the other ones are dead. They rescue her, and there was initially a thing where what's happening? Is he timing? No, he's showing a picture. There's initially a thing where they were supposed to take Deanna to both leaders, but Rosalind insists that she brings him to them, and she does. And Deanna says, I ain't talking. I ain't no snitch. You bring me to my people. My last of my Cylons are on your fleet. Until you bring me to my fleet, I ain't doing nothing for you. Nothing. So there you go. And then at the end of the episode, they jump back to the Colonial Fleet, and look who's waiting for her there. William Adama, reading in his raptor and waiting for the love of his life. And Rosalind embraces him and says, I love you. And he responds, about time. Episode ends.
Can I start with one thing?
Yeah.
When we do the pilot, when we do the first season,
Yeah.
can we have one episode where somehow we can bring in that 90s SNL cast as like another division or something like that and just feature one with that entire cast?
Oh my gosh, I hate
Yes.
you guys.
Okay.
That's what you're talking about again? Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well done. Well, that was a good summation.
It was.
I hate you guys. I hate you guys so much.
I hate you guys.
I hate you guys.
I hate you guys.
I will say this. I cried at the end of the episode.
Did you?
Did you?
When
Yeah.
they reunited?
Yeah, when she said, I love you.
Oh,
And
that
she
was
said-
that was a great scene. I mean, that's a culmination, right?
It was.
Of
It felt.
4
It
years.
was. And he said, what did he say?
About time.
About time.
I
Yeah.
love that about time. That's all he responds back because she already knows that he loves her, right? Don't you think?
Is it better than
He's
I
been
love?
pretty freaking obvious.
Yeah.
Do you think it's better than I love you? I know.
No, nothing's better than I love you, I know. Because it just fits Han Solo. Like, it's just such a smug response. But Adamas
That
is
son
not
of a
smug.
bitch.
Yeah. Adamas isn't smug. Adamas is like, thanks, babe. Love you.
I was emotional. I like.
It was
I loved.
a very good scene.
Yeah.
It was a very well done scene. Though he took his sweet time coming back from that. He's sitting back reading that, and it jumps in, and he's like, "What's going on?" And he slowly goes to his seat.
Well, you kind of got to assess the situation.
I mean, he was too wrapped up in that chapter of that book.
It might have been a good chapter. He had to finish that paragraph.
Yeah, that's true.
But guarantee you it was a romance novel.
Dear Diary.
Jackpot. So this episode, we got Rosalind visions mainly, right? It's well, there's some other things that happen here. We have the weird thing with the 8 and with Hero, where the 8's like, yeah, this goes back to what you were asking before about how do they get the memories. She's able to go and study the memories, like basically go in a data bank and download all the memories.
Yeah.
And so she knows what Hilo
It's kind of
likes.
like it's kind of like when you have the whole catalog and you add that new album.
Yeah.
So that she had all Mariah Carey's, but then she added
Rainbow.
Emancipation. Yeah.
Emancipation
that.
of Mimi.
Yep.
But that's like getting a brand new. That's amazing. Like she knows exactly what.
Isn't it kind of creepy though?
No,
she knows
that's
what-
awesome.
She knows what's happened up until that moment, but nothing beyond that.
Well, you
Like
know
the
how,
moment she died
Yeah,
and was
that's cool,
resurrected.
bro. That's cool. What? Go ahead, say it. It's for our adult listeners.
Rob
Earmuffs.
is in a dark place.
Oh, okay, children.
Yes, he is.
Children, earmuffs. Go ahead, Mr. Rob.
No. It's I forgot already.
Yeah,
No,
right.
he didn't. He's full of crap. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah.
It has to do with a bajet. I
But
guarantee you.
Jay.
Yeah.
But Jay.
No, actually, nothing at all.
Oh,
But Jay. I don't think I've ever heard that.
For the Jay.
So there's
So-
that subplot going on. There's the plot of
so that
the
does give
Cylons
us a little
and
bit of
humans.
answers, though, about the.
Yes.
It does answer some things we had been wondering.
Yeah. How much do they know?
Yes.
Like how they get the information when they die? They don't automatically get it. They have to go. They have to go to the database and get it.
So
It doesn't go in the
They have
cloud.
to like go to the library, basically,
Yeah,
like
they
the
have to go to
Cylon
the
library.
Cylon library. Yeah.
I'm gonna check out. I'm gonna check out this version of 6.
Yeah.
All right, bring it back in a week, or it's a nickel a day.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happens, man. It tracks. So that and there's done more to it than that. What else we have in this one? We have Deanna kills the number 1 model. She kills Cavill, snaps his neck.
Yep.
She's pretty happy about that. Don't blame her.
How many Cavils are there?
I mean, a lot. I mean,
Oh, yeah, it's gotta be a
one
ton of
less,
them.
right?
Yeah.
There's one. Well,
And she killed him before the base ship got. Or
before the
hub.
resurrection hub.
Before the
worked.
porn hub got blown up, right?
Right.
Okay.
So
Exactly.
then we. Right.
Could he
I
have
was
gotten
wondering-
rushed off the ship in time?
I was
We don't
wondering
know.
what the timing of that is. Is it just like a. Like, do they have to take that model somewhere, or is it just like when you die in Contra, you just die and then you get like a new blinking guy? Like, do they just replay like a new one? Just does a new one just come back up into like the bathtub
Yeah, I don't know.
instantaneously?
There-
No.
I think there's some dead models or not.
There's some bodies laying there with no conscious in them,
and they
and
get
it
So they have to
downloads
take
into
other
it.
skin jobs.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly. That's how it works.
That's the same way I kind of viewed the Vorta.
Yeah, same exact idea.
So is there like a process like they get like so someone working in that department gets an email and said number 1 died. So they're like, all right,
I gotta go to the office.
I got to go back and
The office could be a Cylon processing center.
No,
we're getting off track. We're getting off track.
no.
We have a good thing.
We
Let's
do have
not-
a good thing. That's true.
Let's
That's
not
true.
bring this show into it.
Yeah. This garbage. All right, 8.
So is that what that happens? Like they get alerted and they have to go retrieve a new skin job.
Yeah,
And then
and then download the stuff into that person.
how long does that? I'm just curious. Maybe
How long do you think it takes?
Maybe I'm fixating on
I
something.
think they
that's-
said it at one point, didn't they?
It takes a couple hours. It said it could take a couple minutes to a couple hours. It depends on how far they were from the resurrection hub.
And they were
So
all right
since he was
there.
right there, I bet you it was probably
new, like it.
quick.
He woke up and said, "Son of a bitch."
And the timeline for the attack was kind of like jumped all over the place,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Which was interesting because that could have been a fun battle to watch, but they didn't really care about the battle. They just wanted you to see it go blow up.
Well, at the end of the episode, when they kind of introduced Ron Moore's production company,
Yeah.
you hear him say, more dogfights, and then a dog attacks him, and he goes, not like that.
Yeah.
'Cause I imagine that's what the feedback they got from the general audience, and that was a shot at it.
That's
Oh.
that's a good point. That's a good point. I mean, there was some cool stuff there, like the way the Cylon ships were dragging along the Raptor, the fighter jets, the Vipers.
Mhm.
That was pretty cool. I like that. That was fun to watch. And then them not trusting them if they'd cut the line in time, which I
Yeah.
totally get that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, why would you trust these people? And the Cylons have their own flight uniforms. Who would have known that?
Yep.
Yeah, you saw
Not
them
the
in
skin
the
jobs. Yeah, I don't think
skin
we've-
jobs. Yeah,
we haven't seen them with.
we haven't seen them really work.
Why?
They spend
Right.
a lot of time telling everyone else what to do, but they don't
stand-
really work.
They stand around a lot.
They do.
Must be senior management.
They do. They tell all the other Cylons, the mechanical Cylons, to do all the work.
Yeah.
It's totally like a classist system, man. It's not cool.
Yeah, no shit.
That's why
Baltar called them slaves.
That's why. And then the
He
things
said, "You're
like
not a-"
Oh,
Yeah,
like
well,
a
I
dog
didn't-
on a
yeah.
leash, and it looked at him like
Baltar was
hey.
manipulating somebody?
I don't know if he was. Like, I think he was really trying to proselytize.
No way.
Well, what is he trying to do
Well,
in
he
that
was
moment?
he was trying to get the hybrid, and when that didn't work, he was walking by one of those. He was looking for self-preservation.
See, I just think he's
I
like
just-
so into his own religion now that he just feels like he has to share it
Not in that
to
instance.
the Cylons. Is there a self-service in there? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think he really believes what he's saying.
I think he really believed what he's saying, but he was still going to manipulate that thing into
Yeah.
his own benefit.
I appreciated the back and forth with him and Rosalind in there where they're yelling at the model or whatever, screaming at it. And he's like, that's not going to work. You got to do it this way. And they're just screaming at the hybrid model.
The hybrid's like, bro, jump. Shut up.
Yeah. I like when I have enjoyed their interactions a lot more.
Rosalind and
Rosalind
Baltar.
and Baltar. Now that Baltar's like,
I liked
this
when
zany-
Rosalind just pulled the bandage off.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That was actually a pretty cool scene.
She's like, nah, you're not gonna need this.
I'm gonna let you. And he's like, please, no, please, don't let me die.
Don't do this to me.
And he said, thank you. I really like living after that. And she, like, how am I supposed to take that?
Yeah.
I just let I wanted you dead
I'm supposed to say thank
literally
you
months ago.
for not murdering me.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for not murdering me. But she literally wanted him dead. She was willing to airlock him without a trial. And then when it's her chance to do it.
She should have done it.
But she thought, according to that division she was having, she thought by doing that, something good would happen. So she thought it was like a karma thing.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
that's what Alosha said to her. Like, oh, you
Love.
thought by doing this you
Love.
would magically get the location to Earth? No, it doesn't work that way. Sometimes you just have to
That's how
do
you
the
get
right.
Earth.
Yeah, sometimes you have to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do.
Where's the fun in that?
I think it's good. I mean, I think it's okay.
Earth, baby.
Earth.
Welcome to Earth. What else we got in this one? Hilo and the Boomer.
Yeah.
Not the Boomer. No, that was an 8.
8.
But we did have Boomer break Deanna off. She's like, here, go this way. Like, right?
Yeah.
She helped her off the ship.
Boomer's a flake.
Boomer is like, she's
a flip flopper.
She goes with any team that's the winning team, right? She don't care. She's a jerk face. I don't like her. I don't like Boomer. Athena. I dig Athena. She's cool.
What about Gata?
Gata's a cripple.
Good.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's not a statement on whether I don't like him or do like him.
But
He's a
but
cripple now.
that's bad language.
Is it?
No.
I think so.
Yeah.
But it's Gata, and it's not
You
real.
offended
He's
Joe.
Not, I wouldn't actually
I
call
wasn't offended. I was shocked.
I
You were
wouldn't
offended. I saw the look on your face.
It was shock.
because doesn't Gata's back at his station and he's like barely able to do his job.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
not in
that's-
this
that's
episode. That was
next
the last
episode.
episode.
But I have an
will-
interesting I have an interesting take on that scene.
Okay, we'll get there.
Well, I mean, that scene was last week.
No,
right?
that's next week.
Oh,
or
next
next
week.
episode.
Next week.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true.
Next
True,
week.
true.
Jesus
Nah,
Christ.
Nick doesn't even know what those episodes
Yeah.
are watching. That's why his summaries take 15 minutes because he's basically downloading the information so he can talk about it.
Is he a silent?
I think so.
Mm.
He's the fifth one.
Spoiler.
Were you all a little though disappointed in how easy it was for them to blow up their main
After
resurrection thing?
all the battles they've been in and got their butt kicked,
Yeah.
and they
By the
had one
Cylons?
broken base star.
And they
and
had
then-
the surprise attack, but they had that going from them. But that's about it. They still had 2 base stars there.
Yeah, it was easy.
It was a little too easy.
It was way easy.
I was not happy with that.
No.
That's
Listen,
what I
this
wanted
is the
them more
second
done.
half of the last season. We got to get shit going. We don't have time to.
We do got to get it going a little bit. But like, I kind of wanted a little, they could have started the battle like right away at the beginning and showed it like
Because
being
they
a
did
back
a lot
and
of
forth.
they did a lot of cutting from the battle to the ship, battleship. So
And then all of a sudden they're launching the nukes and they
Yeah.
blew up the resurrection hub.
it was easy.
It was
Yeah,
kind of easy.
It was too easy.
But they did, I guess they did again have the element of surprise, and it was somewhere where they didn't think the humans would ever go to attack. In fact, they thought the humans were constantly on the run, and they didn't think the other Cylons would go and destroy their own resurrection technology. So, I mean, that's such a far reach, right? That'd be like you all of a sudden waking up in the middle of the night and Crystal's got a knife over your head. You wouldn't have seen it coming,
Oh yeah,
but it's going
Yeah,
to
you would.
happen.
yeah, I would.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
He's
Come
gonna
on.
he's gonna be like the last scene, and he's gonna wake up and say,
Bye bye.
"No, the last scene of the show." He said,
Oh.
"What took you so long?" or whatever it was, or
Oh yeah,
About time.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you would say
Yeah.
with the knife. About
About time.
about
I've been
time.
expecting this for a while. But there is what I mean by that. It'd be the equivalent of being in a relationship with someone and things are all fine, and then one morning it's all of a sudden not, and there's a complete element of surprise. You never would have suspected that. But if you knew this person was psychotic and you knew this person was out to get you, you're gonna lock your door when you go to sleep. But you
I'm
ain't
not
locking
saying
your
I'm
door.
not saying my wife is psychotic. I'm saying that I'm a lot to handle.
Nah, I know you are. No, she's not. I'm just saying in general. I'm not using you anymore as an example. I've moved beyond you, sir.
the general you.
Yeah.
The general you. Yeah, people like you.
Back to our pilot. Just kidding. I'm just kidding, Nick. But seriously,
There was something I was gonna say, and then it was gonna be really funny, and then I forgot about it, which means it wasn't gonna be funny at all.
Yeah, it was going to be terrible, probably.
Probably,
Right? Most likely.
probably would have got me in trouble.
with
Shit.
who?
Anybody? I don't know.
Anything else from this episode?
Although I haven't had any blowback in any of the dumb shit that I've said before.
No, not at all.
Not yet. There's still time, man. There's
Maybe
still.
you think they're that far behind? People are that far behind?
Is there really the only blowback we got is when the one person wished me dead?
Who wished you dead?
You remember that? You were pissed.
Oh yeah, that was YouTube though.
There's
Was
the
YouTube or was that Instagram?
there was a blowback of the guy who was upset with us about Cisco. We were talking about Cisco.
That was Instagram, I think.
I think it was Instagram.
Yeah, it was.
The Cisco man was upset with us
Why? Why was Cisco guy upset?
because he said we should not be talking about Cisco.
Why? He's on the show.
Because we're white. We shouldn't be talking about him.
Oh,
There's like white people should not be
So we've had
commenting on
two.
black people.
So we've had two.
Yes. Something like that.
we were commenting on him. He's a character.
I'm just telling you what happened. I'm not saying I agree or disagree, sir.
I think there was I think 0 times we had any sort of commentary on his race
Just saying.
negatively.
Uh,
I think we had commentary on how
Awesome he is.
No, but how race and gender and certain things were portrayed on the show or factored into writing.
Especially,
People like that need to get a life, honestly.
Just saying, that's what happens.
I know.
Just,
You know what? People like that should have their internet access revoked. That should be a thing. You should be able
I
to have your
agree.
internet access revoked.
I agree.
I would have revoked Nick's probably a half dozen times today. No, you've actually been pretty good today.
Yeah, he's been pretty spot on today.
I mean, I can't keep up with you guys. That's the problem. I'm just kind of here. There was one thing that I wanted to briefly talk about in this episode, and it was a very quick throwaway line that Cavill had about 8. He called her his pet 8.
I saw that.
Oh
I
yeah,
heard that.
yeah.
Bro, she's right there.
He's not wrong at that point.
Like, how demeaning though. This guy is a jerk.
Joe's
It's
my
Cavill. Like, what do you?
Joe's my pet.
Yeah. Pet Joe.
Pet Joe.
Here's another quote that I really like. Okay, and this is what I've been saying all along about Baltar.
He's
Alosha's comment. I'm not saying Baltar's done more good than harm in the universe. He hasn't. The thing is, the harder it is to recognize someone's right to draw a breath, the more crucial it is. If humanity is going to prove itself worthy of surviving, it can't do it on a case-by-case basis. A bad man feels his death just as keenly as a good man. Don't go around killing people just because they're killers, just because they're jerks.
What does she
Don't
mean
go and
by feel his death? Like, hold on. What does she mean by a bad man feels their death just as keenly as a good?
Death is death to anyone. Like, it's the end. It's just as scary for a good person as it is for a bad person.
Murder's the case you gave me.
I don't know that. I don't think that that's true.
You, like my thought of it, or
No, I don't think
what
that.
she was saying.
I don't think what she's saying is true.
You're welcome to your wrong opinion.
That smells good.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Stop sniffing glue, guys.
You want to hit?
Oh, that's the hand sanitizer. Okay. Isn't it weird how hand sanitizer, like at the beginning of the pandemic?
There's certain brands that it's all about whatever the
Was that citrus or something?
I don't know. I got it from Pittsburgh. I was at some restaurant and said, "This smells good," and I stole it.
It smells like gunmetal. No, I don't know. It smells like
Good.
It smells like Pledge.
It smells like the wet nap things.
Revelations. Moving on. You're clearly ready to move on, right, gentlemen?
Yeah, there was. Maybe my joke will come back.
Okay. Revelations.
I hope it does.
The Cylons decide to do something intelligent. They take Laura Roslin and the people aboard the Baystar hostage, and they say, until we get our final 5, we're gonna start murdering people. We're gonna straight up murder. We're gonna airlock
Hell yeah,
them
let's
people.
go.
We're gonna kill people.
Captain Janeway, these people.
So you need to do that. So then Tori's like, well, wait, hold on. I gotta go take care of the president on the Baystar. Oh, and then she gets there, and all of a sudden she's a smug, arrogant jerk. She completely turns around from being nice and kind.
I'm done taking orders.
I'm done taking orders from you. She's always been nice to you, Tori. Whatever. Anyways, so Tori's full of herself.
One time she said, basically, a dometer and said, "Get off your fat ass" or whatever it was, or get your shit straight.
I mean, because she was a
Best
train
line
wreck.
of the show still.
Yeah.
Get your fat ass out of my office.
We need
So-
that drop, Nick.
So Tori Foster joins them, and he's like, give me the rest of them. And the other Cylons are refusing to disclose themselves, right? They're not going to go with her voluntarily.
Smell my hand, Joe.
So Deanna starts killing the hostages until her people come home. Adama passes along Rosalind's order to his son, who's the president, saying, we got to blow this bad boy up if they don't give us what we want. But Saul can't handle it anymore. And he goes and admits to his friend that he's a Cylon. And he's like, you're joking. You're messing with me, bro. You're messing with me. No cap? No cap? And he's like, cap, bro. It's the other way around.
I should have told you when I
I
found
should have
out,
told you. Didn't
but I
have
was
the courage.
too scared.
Yeah. So he offers himself to airlock himself as a bargaining chip, and horrified Adama orders him to be terrified, and he's
Orders him to be terrified.
arrested. As Ty is escorted away, Adama loses it, tears apart his office in a fit of rage, and when Lee goes to visit him, his dad's drunk. He's passed out drunk on the floor. He's like, I can't. He's my friend. I love him. I can't believe it. Oh my gosh, I can't do this. So Lee takes Ty, puts him in the airlock.
Lee's like, I can.
Threatens to airlock him, and Ty turns over Anders and Tyrrell as well. But as they're getting ready to turn over the chief and Anders, they're by the other the Viper, and they're like, "You got to look at this, Starbuck. There's something going on here. There's something going on here.
I got a feeling
I got a feeling, and I need more cowbell."
that tonight's gonna be a good night.
So they're all put in the airlock, and they're getting ready to airlock everyone. And as they're getting ready to airlock, Starbuck runs in and says, "Wait, I know the location to Earth." Earth, and they arrive, and they get to Earth, and Adama gives his speech. We've walked a long road, but we've done it, everyone.
Getting
We've
from here to
made it.
there.
It's been a long time, but our time is getting near. So they get back to Earth. They're to Earth. Everyone's so happy. They're clapping. They're cheering. Yay, we did it.
Yeah.
And they go down to Earth, and we see Adama pick up that sand, and he's gotten to do the thing that he wanted to do, that Rosalind wanted to do, because they basically said, "I want you to pick up that sand, Bill. Like, stop drinking. Come out here and help me." So he does. And then they look at Earth, and it's a nuclear wasteland. There's nothing left. It's been destroyed. They're left speechless when they find Earth to be desolate, radioactive, and lifeless. End
Earth.
of the episode.
Or as I call it, even worse, New Caprica.
Yeah.
Was that bridge supposed to be the Brooklyn Bridge?
No.
Okay.
No. I don't think so.
There's a cross.
Yeah, there wasn't there?
Mhm.
Yeah.
One of the very first shots when they start.
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
Where do you guys want to start?
I want to start with the scene where you have an Exo with one eye and a guy and Gator with one leg in the same.
Did that make you happy?
Yeah. I was like, look at this motley crew Adama has working.
They're
for
like
him.
literal pirates now
I
at this
know.
point. They're not doing too well.
To make a point, the CC doesn't seem very handicap accessible. There's
No.
all those different levels.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, because, this is before the ADA was invented.
Before or after?
Before.
Well, after.
Before. This was before.
With this bunch, they needed to invent it a long
Wait,
time
wait.
ago.
Because if you go on the Pegasus, if you remember, the Pegasus was one story.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
Before the 88.
The American with Disabilities
I know,
Act.
but no,
But there's no Americans in this scenario.
The Capricorns with Disabilities Act then, okay? The CDA.
But what year is Earth? What year Earth did they go to?
We don't know that yet.
We don't know. We don't know what we don't know.
I'm guessing it's far in the future,
We don't know.
which means the 88 would be long gone.
Was it the eugenic wars, probably? That's where we're
Oh
at?
yeah, tie in the Star Trek. This is how Kira's going to show. They're going to Deep Space Nine is going to somehow warp in, and Kira's going to be there.
Deep Space Nine, the station itself?
Yeah, it's going to
Can't-
warp in.
Can't go
It's actually
at warp.
19,
Shut up. It can't
1986.
go at warp.
It can't also go in the Battlestar Galactica universe.
Why not? Excuse me, sir. That station cannot go in warp speed.
No.
It has to work off thrusters. That's how they got it to the wormhole, sir.
Nah, sir.
It's actually 1986.
The Defiant, however, could warp it.
But why would it? Because they take it anywhere anyways. It's just, oh, here's this experimental ship. Go anywhere you want with it. Dummies. All right.
You two nerds done.
Yeah, we're done.
Excuse
We're
me,
done.
Joe. Excuse me.
So, can we talk about how much Tori sucks?
Yeah, that's a punk move.
Yeah,
She went
still better
from
than Gator though.
she went from being like,
That's easy to do, though.
I know she was getting confident more in her Cylon self. I get that, and she airlocked Kaylee.
She's in her Cylon era.
She's a little bit.
Wasn't she a jerk at that point, though? I mean,
She-
I hate Callie. Don't get me wrong. But wasn't her jerk moment kind of like peak?
Yeah,
when she
she's-
airlocked Kelly.
Yeah.
Not now.
But she still seemed like she was
yeah.
trying to balance.
she did us a favor though.
I know. How long before the chief finds that out? By the way,
An episode. I bet you next
I hope
week
so.
I bet you next week we're talking
he
about
better
it.
be so mad.
Would you like for me to confirm or deny if it's in the next episode?
Confirm.
It is absolutely not in the next episode.
Okay.
Is it in the next batch of episodes?
It is absolutely not.
They don't cover it.
He said it's just not in the next
in
two.
the next batch of episodes.
Batch of episodes is season 4,
This
part
is the final
2.
season.
No,
Look,
no,
if I
ba-
say
batch-
any more, I'm going to start
No.
spoiling
Yeah,
things.
no. Batch of episodes to me is the next two.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
I get you.
Fair
I
enough.
hear you, boo. I hear you, boo.
See?
So Tori's a dirtbag.
Yeah.
Eh.
She's a total dirtbag. And like all the president is asking her to do is be like, hey, can you make sure they don't kill the humans? And she's like, no, I can't do that anymore. They're going to listen to you, Tori.
The president's like, don't forget your roots. What's up?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I remember what I was going to say about last episode.
Okay.
Yay!
It was not a joke. It was a serious question.
Yeah.
Now that the hub is gone, what separates Cylon and human?
Nothing. They're mortal, just like humans now. Like, what makes them special? Nothing. Maybe they're they're
so
more
what are we-
powerful.
So now what are we fighting for?
Well, they can't breed though. That's part of the problem. They don't know how to breed.
That's fine. Fuck them. Let them.
That's what they're trying to
That's
do.
what they're trying, but it's not working.
No,
It
that's
only-
the best part is that they can't breed.
It only works if you're in love in this show. You have to be in love.
Yeah, but Ty got number 6 pregnant.
Maybe he's in love.
Is he in love with her or the idea of her?
Maybe she's faking
And
the
is 6
pregnancy.
really in love with him?
Maybe she's faking the
Or
pregnancy.
is there going to be a Maury?
Maybe she has an eye fetish.
You are not the father.
Colonel Ty's eye.
Yeah, she's like to stick a
Is it-
finger in his eye.
If you think that baby's coming out with one
It's a
eye?
bad episode, folks. If this is your first episode, I'm sorry. These boys are out of control.
If this is your first episode, congratulations. You have already graduated. This is an AP course in keeping up with the Kardashians.
And go
It
listen
is,
to the
it
pizza episode.
This is the advanced course. This is
Yes.
like an 800 level course right now. Yeah.
This
yeah.
is your doctorate.
Yeah, exactly.
How bummed are they to get to Earth though? Like the boners they had when they found Earth
And the music.
were immediately
the
swatted
music
down.
that's the thing. They did a really good job with that scene, didn't they? Like his speech to
The one
them.
thing we botched in the last episode too is when what's the Lucy Lawless's character?
Deanna.
Deanna was like, and you're one of them to the president.
Oh, yeah.
And, and they played the music like it was going to be a hit cue. And she's like, nah, I'm just fucking you, bro.
That was a good scene.
That was my favorite scene of this entire show.
Really?
Yeah.
That
When they
would've
play
been-
with humor, it's pretty good. Like,
That was like I could imagine like
don't ex-
Deanna
you don't
being
expect
like
that.
super baked, just super high, be like, and you're one of them, man. I'm just
no
fucking
way,
with you.
man. No
oh
way,
my
man. Yeah.
That was
Sorry.
I had for a brief second I was like, oh shit,
It would like,
and
it
then I was
actually-
like, no,
it actually could work. You know, it
Oh,
makes sense. Like,
It would have been better. I think. Hold on.
is the last Cylon the ship? The ship that led
battles-
them to Earth.
the nice thing is,
The
we will
battle-
find out who the last Cylon is very soon. So
In the next time we record, will we know who the 5th Cylon is?
you will.
Hot damn!
Yeah, you'll
Let's
know.
go.
And the reason why they did that is they didn't want you to spend
It's
the
Ronald
last
Reagan.
10 episodes like going like who's the final Cylon. That wasn't the important part.
It's Ronald Reagan, isn't it? Now that they got to Earth.
I got the Earth.
It's Abraham Lincoln. Yes.
Is it Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter?
If only John Wilkes Booth would have shot him before the hub.
It's the Emancipation
Exploded.
Proclamation, but with Cylons, right? They got their freedom and they became jerk faces.
The timing of that is awful.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they did. So, Tory's a jerk. We've established that. Lee's the president, and he's actually not a mess up. He's a pretty solid president.
I think it's the
actually.
hair.
I don't like his hair.
I like his hair.
He needs a trim.
He
No, I
needs
think
it.
he looks good. I think he
Man,
looks
there's
good.
too much going on up there.
Let's talk about actually the scene with Ty and Adama,
Yes.
Yes.
because freaking Edward James almost nails it, but so does
So does the guy who plays Ty.
oh my gosh, why am I blanking on his name? Oh,
Get my fracking name right.
I
Michael
know.
Hogan. Michael Hogan.
Hulk
Oh,
Hogan?
Hulk's dad.
Yeah, exactly.
Or brother. They're
I
brothers.
think brothers.
Brother.
Brother.
That actually works.
That's my brother.
that actually
That's my brother
works.
Hulk.
Yeah. By the way,
That's my fracking
he was
brother.
in Sonic the Hedgehog. Michael Hogan. He was
Really?
he was the Air Force Chief of Staff. And
Joe.
I knew I heard him when he said, big fracking deal. And is that?
Get that blue thing away from me. That's not good.
No.
I can't do it. I don't have a gruff voice. I have a very
Either do I.
effeminate voice. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, it's not.
No.
But the scene between Ty and Adama,
Yeah.
it was pretty good.
It was a very good.
I'd say more than pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was intense. They executed it well, but more so the scene when Lee goes to see him.
That was sad.
That's
That's the first time
yeah.
we've seen Adama completely defeated, right?
Yeah.
And the whole series.
all those people.
What?
Yeah.
What for? Yeah. And
You know
he's
what?
just drunk off of his.
You know what
gourd-
thought I had when he was saying like all those people I sent to die for what? I was like, yeah, what the fuck am I watching all these episodes for?
Yeah.
Like, what is this for?
Yeah, because now it's like they
What
found
does it
Earth.
matter now?
War. What's it
What
good
is it
for?
good for?
Oh gosh,
Absolutely
I want to
nothing.
find that clip because like the acting was off the charts on that one.
I was surprised at how little they beat around the bush when they sent Ty in to go tell Adama. It was more like Ty was like, I need to do this. I'm going to go do it. And they did it. And it was no like, they didn't build it up. It
and
was
he didn't
just
hesitate. He was like, all right, it's time.
Yep.
All those
I should
people
have
over there.
done this.
And I think, my opinion, and I've been wrong a lot today, but part of it was because he knew the old man's person he couldn't live with it was on the other ship too. I think his friendship with Adama and Adama's love for Roslin really made him go, okay, I gotta get over there.
Yeah.
I think, of course, it's everybody, but I think that really pushed the issue in the XO's head.
The way that I took it when he did it was out of respect. I want to tell him and be a man to man. Ironically,
It's going to happen no matter what.
I think there's that too.
He's gonna find out. I want him to hear it from me first, and I can take.
I should have did it a long time ago.
And I'm going to
Billy.
offer myself as the bargaining chip to show you how serious I am. Put me in that airlock.
To a man, I want you to hear it from my voice.
Yeah.
I want me to tell you, and then we can deal with it from there.
I don't need these people to die, Bill.
And then you got... Yep.
And I don't even think, even though he did, I don't even take it as him ratting the other two out.
No.
Here's
It
drunk
was a greater
Adama.
good thing.
It was.
He was being a good human XO.
Mm-hmm.
Dad, listen.
No one suspected. No one.
Yeah.
Not with his record. What he did on New Caprica. His eye. What
His
happened
eye.
to his...
Why do they got to bring the eye into it?
I know.
Let's get out.
It's such a good scene, though.
What have I done? Other people are sent to die. For what?
Do you think he was really drunk?
I mean, knowing him, he could have been. Like, because he's such a good act. I could see him being a character role for that.
Do you think Edward James Olmos is the best actor in the series?
I absolutely.
In this show, yeah, absolutely.
I think Mary McDonnell has knocked it out of the park, especially later seasons as she gets more desperate. I think Lee's kind of come around. In fact, I love the fact that scene was between Lee and his dad.
Oh,
it was a very intimate
needed to be.
moment between the dad and the son. I don't think he would have let anyone else in that room to see him like that.
No.
But he let his,
Ironically, I think the only other person
let
he
his
would
fat ass son.
No, but ironically, I think the only other person he would let in his office like that would be Ty.
Right. And now he can't. Like, his friendship is ruined. I mean, it changes everything. But see, to me, if you're talking about scenes that almost make you tear up, that would be one that almost made me tear up. Like, here's the commander of this fleet, held it together on this promise of Earth when he was full of crap. Then it turns out he's not full of crap.
What a good bluffer.
And yeah,
He was full of crap.
they've lost 10,000 people since they've started their journey, give or take. And now for what?
Now,
like he said, for what?
Hot take, but that's not bad considering how badly they fucked almost everything up.
Yeah.
10 grand?
And most of them were at New
That's not
Caprica,
bad.
which is not his fault, Adama's fault. You know whose fault it was?
Baltar.
Oh, I thought you were going
Gata.
to. I set you up for that
It's
one.
Gata.
I set you up, and you let me down.
Column A, column B.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of both.
When you boil it down, it really is Gata's fault. That's why he has one leg.
Yeah.
Bum.
He doesn't have a leg to stand on.
No, he doesn't. Sweep the leg, Johnny.
Sweep
So-
the leg, Johnny.
So, and then
the
finally,
good leg.
I was a little annoyed at
Hey,
first.
they're
the
coming
only-
to Motor City Comic Con in November. The Karate Kid and Billy Zappa.
Ralph Macchio.
Yeah.
Hey, are we doing our second panel?
Yeah, we're gonna do the second panel.
Yeah, let's do it. I was a little annoyed at first that it seemed like Ty was not going to admit who the other Cylons were because they didn't show him talking, right? Like, who are the other ones? And he wasn't saying anything.
Yeah, the next scene, they're like, "Hey, you scumbag,
and then
let's
they're
go."
like, what's going on? And then Chief is like, dude,
Yeah.
tell her.
Well,
Like,
Yeah.
well, Chief
they
had
got
a,
us.
Chief had a smile on his face the entire time.
he was happy.
Yeah, when they came and found him, he's like, gotta smile.
He wanted to be caught, though. Like,
I think there's part of them
he's
that
miserable.
I think aside from Tori, there's a big part of the other three that are relieved
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Well, Tori,
because
yeah.
they haven't, because other than Tori, the other three have been pretty consistent in their behaviors since
Chief has
since
flaked out a little bit.
he
just a
has,
little
but
bit.
he's going through
Well,
a lot.
I'm just saying, yeah.
Yeah,
he's going through stuff, man.
But Anders and Ty were pretty status quo for the most
Anders
part.
just ignored it, pretend like it.
Yeah.
And same with Ty. They basically just ignore that. Sorry, my tongue got tied. But they did. They Ty got a little drunk, I think, but that's about it.
Tracks.
I know. That just kind of fits his character.
Big fracking deal.
And Anders just leaned into sleeping with his wife a lot more.
Hey.
And she's psychotic, and we don't know what's the deal with her.
What's the deal?
What's the deal with
Starbuck?
Starbuck? We don't know. We don't know. But
Well, she's getting laid more. She seems happier.
yeah.
I mean, correlation, or is she the last Cylon, and which is a completely different version of her?
Who knows? We don't know. Maybe the story shall tell us in the next 10 episodes.
Well, next week we'll know.
Yeah, you already told us.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I did tell you that, didn't I? Dang it. So
Which is okay. We asked.
So do you think, all right, obviously you know that there was 10 episodes left of the series, right?
I actually didn't know the number.
Okay.
Feels like there's 30.
We have four episodes left after this,
I've been
basically,
enjoying
because
this
the
season.
finale is 3 parts: the part 1, 2, and 3. So that one you're going to have to watch all 3.
That's our big finale show extravaganza.
Yeah. So my question for you is: did you think that? Are you in the thing of like, okay, what's next? Like, or before we revealed what Earth was, right?
Earth.
Before you knew Earth was nuked
Earth.
and destroyed. Earth.
Thank you.
Are you like, okay, now the next 10 episodes are going to be like fighting over Earth?
Well,
That's really originally what I thought.
Yeah. So they found Earth.
there's a shopping list of things that we have. We need to know the fifth Cylon.
Yeah, we do need that.
We need to see what happens with Rosalind.
Yeah, the cancer. Yeah.
I want to see Baltar's storyline come to fruition, or
some sort of closure.
An end?
Yes. And now that we've discovered Earth, I want to see, because obviously they're all disappointed.
Yeah.
I want to, what is that like? What are we doing with Earth? Are we staying? Is like Earth or bust, or is it like Earth? Oh, I guess I got nothing here. Let's go back.
Yeah. Where
and,
do we go back to New Caprica? Where do we settle?
Been there,
Or do
done
they?
that.
I mean, do they even have an idea of what to do for resources on Earth? Can they do anything on Earth? I mean, to me that opens up the next little bit here. Like,
Yeah.
There's story to tell.
Story to tell.
Obviously.
Okay.
they got to repair the city, right?
But I'm talking about even before they knew Earth was nuked, right? Before that, where you see them approaching Earth and they're there finally. Do you think to yourself, "Oh, okay, so they're
I was thinking
they're going to live happily ever after
Once they
on
get
Earth?
there, like,
Or
I thought once
who's
they get,
on Earth? Yeah,
who's on Earth? I thought for sure they were going to get intercepted by some sort of military involvement in the skies.
wouldn't that be kind of crazy? Like another Battlestar jumps in and is like,
Yeah.
"Welcome to Caprica, get away," or Earth, or
That
whatever
was a pretty moving scene where you saw the roundness of Earth, and then you just saw the shadows of the ships get more and more vivid.
That was really well done.
That was
They did a
pretty
good
awesome.
job on that. Yes.
And the scene, I got emotional at the end of this one when they announced that when the old man made his speech.
Yeah, we've done it. We've made
Lee
it.
jumped on a table, threw his coat off.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, he gave the command to take us to Earth too, right? Like they made a big deal about that as well.
Take us to Earth, baby.
Take us to Earth. I think I got that clip. I can pull that clip up if this is the right clip.
Take us to Earth, wind, and fire.
Yeah, I got them all cheering. Well, and they did that. They did the scene pretty cool too because they showed them going down through the clouds in their ships, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, the skies are
It's
blue.
awesome. Yeah.
Like, and then they cut the very next shot as him picking up the sand, which was
They landed there like, man, we landed in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
yeah.
Where do you think they landed? Like Moscow?
I'll tell you where they actually filmed this was in British Columbia. Centennial Beach in British Columbia.
That tracks.
Oh, how's she going, eh?
Hey, how about that?
Oh, you're not
Because
from
that's where they filmed it. In
Oh, you're
Canada.
not from around here, eh?
Yeah.
Where are you from, hey? Caprica, never
How do you
heard
feel
of it.
about that?
You feel booed it.
I've never heard of Caprica.
This is Canada, not Caprica.
Yeah.
So now we have 10 episodes to wrap
Nova
this up.
Scotia.
What happens now that they found Earth? What do we do with the final Cylon? What's going to happen to the morale of the fleet now that Earth is been nuked and there's no one left on it?
I think they're just going to say, whew, Earth sucks. The final Cylon Starbuck. Who gives a shit? Let's just get back in the ships and go
roads where we're going, we don't need roads.
Roads.
And then it makes the streaks in the sky, and it says to be continued.
Bam, 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 ba-da-da.
Yeah, that'd be pretty great. Anything else from this episode? What are your thoughts on how that ends? Do you like that ending? Are you kind of like what did that catch you off guard? Like, oh snap, I didn't expect Earth to be.
No, it caught me
shit
off guard.
show?
Yeah, like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
I was expecting it to be a bit more inhabitable. Yeah.
Yeah,
I knew there was gonna be some kind of twist. I just didn't know what it was going to be.
I think I already said my twist. I thought they were going to get into some sort of confrontation
Tussle?
immediately once they got into orbit. Basically, once they were in radar for whatever was on Earth to find them, I guess. But that's kind of where I thought it was going, and then that would lead to the next little bit of conflict, and then
Was Gata really able to return to work the way he was looking? Like, did HR sign off on that? Did he get a return to work form, and then the clinic was like, he's good to go?
I could
I
imagine
think there's
guilt,
only like 30-some thousand left. So I think
I could imagine guilt playing into it as well. Like, it's kind of our fault. This guy lost his leg. He wants to get right back to work so he can pretend
it's
like nothing's
Gata's
happened.
fault. It's his own fault.
That he got
lost-
his leg blown off?
Yes.
No,
That was
that's clearly Anders' fault.
Yeah.
I mean, dude could have like aimed somewhere else. He could have
He could
aimed.
have just shot the keyboard.
Yeah. What? Or shot a bullet into the air.
Yeah,
It
but,
is a spaceship, though.
but if you
I mean, I'm assuming the hull is thick enough to take a bullet, though.
I would
But-
hope so.
I would hope.
but we would never have been in this position if he would have just never fucked with the vote.
It
I
all
mean,
comes back to the vote.
This is
Yes.
true, though. This is all true.
Butterfly
Yeah.
effect.
It happens.
You said the butterfly Affleck?
The butterfly Ben Affleck.
Oh, nice.
Affleck.
The
So,
butterfly Ben Affleck.
The
so
butterfly
I know.
effect of Ben Affleck in Batman vs Superman leads us to its current state of the DCEU.
I know I've led to some confusion here because I've talked about in the past about the writer's strike somehow coming into play at some point in time. This is actually where it did come into play because I did find a note that said after they filmed this episode, like Edward James almost like the cast wrapped up on this episode and he's like, hey, it's been great working with you. We're not going to come back because they thought the show would get canceled after the writer's strike ended because they're like, it's too expensive to make and now they've lost a buttload of money.
You cannot cancel this show without revealing to
So
you who the fifth
they
Cylon
thought,
is.
yeah, they thought it was going to get canceled at this point. They were all,
Now, if we knew who all five of if we knew who the fifth Cylon was, that would be kind of a badass end to the show.
and this
That you work and work and work and you celebrate, and Earth is just an absolute pile of dog shit.
So, and this episode aired on the 13th of June.
Right now?
That would be awesome.
This aired on 13th of June of 2008.
Oh, a week
okay?
before my birthday.
The
Oh.
next episode that we're going to watch next week did not come out till January 16th of 2009.
That's
So,
only a year.
Not
I know,
even.
but
It's
this
6
was one
months.
Lost it like
It's 6 months. That's
it's
not even.
six-
That's nothing.
but it was all supposed to
7
be one
months.
season. There was not supposed to be any break.
Mm.
So it ended up being like a big, like, it really works as a mid-season finale, honestly. You have some conclusion. They found their big
does, I
goal,
guess.
ultimately, of finding Earth. They found it. And we didn't think the show was coming back. And I watched it when it was airing. And when that happened, I was like, holy crap. Like, I was depressed for 6 months because I'm like, no.
Yeah, because you just
It
spend all that
sucks.
time going to
Yeah.
looking for Earth with them, and you find out it's the end. It's like a bonfire.
Yeah, exactly. So it sucks, man. This is what I was talking about. It's about to get a lot more depressing before we get
How can it get
hopeful.
more depressing than killing tens of thousands of people and expending like tons of resources to find out you just made it? You got to a campsite the morning after.
Just saying.
That would be pretty. How can you get worse than that?
I feel like it can, and it will. I can promise
Maybe it's
you that.
what's the sacred city or the city from Star Trek, the DS9, the city where they go back in time, and it's
Mecca?
no they go to Earth and it's
New York City.
It's the city and it's like all bunch of poor people.
Oh,
San Francisco?
San Francisco, where they go to the what
It's-
section? It was like
The Bell
Something 10.
Riots.
Yeah, the Bell riots.
Yeah, but they were in
But it was
district, not district. It wasn't called.
It was called something, a city.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe that's where they landed.
Maybe.
Looked like it.
It looked like it.
Mm-hmm.
That's next year. The Bell Riots.
Nice. Looking forward to it.
So
How are we celebrating?
So Jane Epison was the writer for this episode. Jane Epison is a big deal because she was a big writer on Breaking Bad as well, and she wrote some good episodes for
Another uplifting program.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? And she has a quote about this, about the writing and her reaction to it. She says, "Holy cow, I love this episode beyond the saying of it, and thank you to the fans who have been going out of their way to tell us this too. Adama's reaction to the reveal was stunning. My gods." She says, "My gods." And Starbuck, her face said it all. Thunderclap, simply beautiful. You wouldn't want more, and you can't imagine less. I'm stating the obvious when I say a more labored reaction would have attenuated the emotions, giving the characters a chance to gather themselves before the big blow that was to come, which certainly would be a mistake.
They put something in your head.
Yeah.
It's too many words to say. Yeah, it's a pretty good episode.
And she goes, "Oh yeah, the haunted, devastated city with the massive ruined temple and our people trying to find their footing in a strange dead city. I did not recognize that image. Just kills me. Every time I watch this episode, I well up with hope. And it lasts right up through that handful of soil. And then the radiation counter breaks my heart all over again." Which is kind of true. Like, it's hope up until that moment. He lifts the soil, and then it's the Geiger counter,
yeah.
which is kind of a cool scene. I love that one.
What are you going to do?
I love this episode. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
That's it?
Well, for now. I mean, do you have any more you want to talk about in this episode?
I watched the next 2 episodes.
Did you really?
No.
Okay, I hope not.
You know I didn't.
Yeah, I know you didn't.
Barely made it through these.
I finished last night.
Mm-hmm.
I finished at work today.
Nice.
That's how to do it, my
You're
friend.
spending some money on Apple for that stuff.
You are.
I got to fit it in my schedule where this is Thursday.
I know. Well, but next week we got a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
We got like 10 days to watch the next 2 episodes.
We're following the line.
It's like half a bye week.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, shall we go to rating
Can we
these
start calling
episodes?
the weeks we're off the bye week?
We
Yes.
could.
Yeah.
We need to rest up.
Yeah.
Can we have like a
Load-
doubtful and questionable report?
A special note.
Load
Special
management.
note. I don't. You might be able to fact check me on this, but I think this is the first time in
Wrong.
NFL history where a teams that play each other twice in the regular season play each other both times on Thursday night because we play Green Bay on Thanksgiving.
Oh.
Okay.
That's something that I just made up and thought about, but I think it is.
I'm going to go with factual.
I'm going to go with factual as well because it really only because other than Thanksgiving,
Well, they were.
you don't usually have a team that plays twice on Thursdays.
They were playing. Who was it last year? The Denver a lot last year in prime time up to the
We
end.
played 3 times on Thursday this year.
Yeah.
Because we started the season, then we have Thanksgiving and tonight.
Wow. That's awesome. Cool. All right. Let's rate these episodes, babies. The Hub.
5.
7.
7?
No. I'm gonna give it.
Is that really?
No. I'll give Pornhub a 7.5.
I'll give this one a solid 8. I like this episode a lot.
I do too. I like that they blew up the Pornhub and
I didn't like that they blew up the Pornhub. What am I going to
You
do?
should be upset with that.
now you got one life to live, baby. You better get to living. Get busy living or get busy dying.
We're gonna need a lot more lotion. All right.
I got hand sanitizer. It smells good.
Ooh. Revelations.
9.5.
Really?
Yep.
This is up there for me too. Like, they nailed like the scene with Adama, the scene with Ty, like Adama's scene with Lee, Ty's scene with Adama, Adama's speech at the end, showing everyone celebrating.
I mean, almost every scene was exemplary.
It was. This was a solid episode. Tori defecting and being a B.
I think this had some of the best moments for multiple characters.
We're starting to like culminate into something here.
Had some of the best moments of the old man.
Yeah.
Arguably Lee's best moments.
Yeah.
Arguably Ty's best moments.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, even like even just simple stuff like the chief, like the faces he made.
Yeah.
He didn't say much in this episode. He said very little.
Mm-hmm.
Were great. Starbuck was not obnoxious.
Yeah.
She was fine. I mean, this is a good, I give it a 9.5 as well. This is a good episode.
Just trying to decide.
Especially the reveal at the end. Downer reveals to movies, like I dig those. When you think you're going to have a happy ending and then it's like, everything sucks.
I didn't think we were going to have a happy ending, though. It was just too easy to have a happy ending.
Yeah, that's not what this show's about.
Yeah. I'm going to go with...
That's an 8.5.
I'm trying to decide if it's my favorite episode of the series or not. And if it's not, it's 8.5. And if it is, it's 9. So I don't know. I'll just say 9.
Okay. You gave last season, like the Caprica series, you gave a lot of 9s to those.
Did I?
Yeah, to Occupation,
That doesn't
to
sound
Precipice. Exodus, you gave an 8.5. And then the Exodus Part 2, you gave a 9.
I did call my shot that they would.
You said 9, 9, 8.5, 9.
Woo, that's a hell of a run, Rob.
I don't like it.
And I had 9, 9, 10, 10.
9.
Joe had 9, 9, 9, 5, 9, 5 in Series 3. And then we all
And I
went
was
down
like,
to
this
like
show
2s
sucks.
and 3s and 4s.
And I was like, this show sucks.
All right, so you are a
9.5.
9, you said?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
9.
So, just so you know, this is the highest rated episode of Season 4.
9.9.
But not by far. Not by far at all. By IMDb. It's like 0.1 away from another one, so it's not really that big of a deal. And really, the rest of them are pretty high ratings. There's one that's a little bit lower, but the rest of them are high ratings too. So Season 4 has been a banger.
Have you even seen the movie Top Gun?
Yes, I have.
Nick's wearing a Top Gun t-shirt for our
Season
listeners.
averages?
I just noticed that.
Season averages, we've
Just
now
noticed?
reversed from last
Wow.
week. Joe and I are now tied at 8.0 for Season 4. And Rob, you are in a distant second place at 7.9 for Season 4.
Distant.
Distant second.
Needs to be a top pod t-shirt.
We are heads and tails
I know.
above our ratings from seasons 1, 2, and 3 for all of us. And
How many times have you seen Top Gun?
quite a few, like 5.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I swear I have. Next week we review Sometimes a Great Notion and A Disquiet Follows My Soul. Sounds like very uplifting episodes.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
sounds
Sounds like things are going to be wonderful.
wordy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Hopefully they get the hell off Earth.
I mean, they're at
There's
Earth.
nothing
Why would
there.
you-
There's
why
no
would you
record
leave?
stores. There's no toy stores. There's nothing.
I mean, they
True.
lived on Caprica with all the radiation. Why can't they live on Earth? I mean, they have to take anti-radiation medicine all the time.
Yeah.
There is that, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
What would you do if you got to Earth and there was no NFL football?
Go back.
Well, they don't have it. They have
You go
pyramid.
back.
Exactly.
They just throw a ball at a hole
In their
and punch each other.
In the prophecies, it
Not
was like, and you will arrive at Earth and you will receive the football.
And John Madden is your coach.
See what you're gonna do here. Can you imagine him breaking down battle scenes? Pow!
Bam!
Woo!
That'd be amazing.
It would be
That'd be
amazing.
amazing. So, we got some good episodes coming up. The next week after that is probably my favorite episodes, up there in my top 10 episodes of this series.
I'm just going to guess the run from here on out is probably going to be pretty solid.
It gets pretty intense. It's pretty nail biting.
Are there any like filler episodes here? Where, like,
There
character
might
study?
be one, but it's not like a full. It still advances the story.
there's no boxing episode?
No boxing episode. You know what? You go back and watch that boxing episode after you've watched the series, and you're not going to think it's nearly as bad as it was.
That episode
One.
stunk.
There's one episode that kind of stinks in here. Not bad, but it just is not nearly up to the quality of the rest of them. So it's like,
So it stinks in context.
yeah, in context. See you at the crossroads. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, follow us on Twitter, the X, which is a dumpster fire. We
How
know.
long until how long do you think X/Twitter is viable?
Well, did you hear that he's going to start charging?
You said that
Yeah.
last week, I
Is
think.
that- But like, how long do you think that's viable?
Not long.
Not long now. I think it's
Okay,
he's ruined the name of it. He's ruined the brand.
okay. If
It's
Elon
like he
Musk
tried.
if Elon Musk did not
I honestly think he tried.
You
interject,
think so?
I
No.
do.
I
Like
Man.
tried to save it or tried to ruin it?
Tried to ruin it.
No,
I don't know. I don't think he tried to ruin
he's
it.
too
I think
narcissistic.
I think he had ideas, and they were just shit ideas.
Yeah, they are.
Can it be that bad?
How
of
long do you
ideas,
think
though?
it would have been sustainable had he never interjected?
Oh, it would
still
be
going-
fine.
it'd still be-
Infinite?
It'd
yeah.
be infinite, yeah.
It'd be,
As long as Facebook /
Yeah,
Instagram.
Facebook's fine. Yeah, it'd be fine.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think it would still be the place to go where it's like.
Pizza's here.
I think it would still be the place to go for like your outlandish conspiracy theorists and people. But I think it still would have just existed as Twitter existed.
It won't anymore.
No.
But it definitely will not.
Yep.
It's sad
It's sad.
because it was a decent little platform for a while.
It was. Oh, someone's at the front door. Says
They
Amazon.
better have pizza
Yeah.
or I'm fucking cutting them.
Wow. Speaking of cutting, you should cut over to YouTube and watch some of our
Oh,
videos we have
nice.
on there. We got some YouTube
So you're
videos we
just-
have of our podcast. You can watch us on Keeping Up with the Cardassians. You can follow us on Instagram. We put stuff on there at keeping_up_Cardassians. You can go to TikTok. We have Keeping Up Cardassians as well. You can find Cardassians wherever you look, really.
And Patreon.
Yeah, that's the best part. You can find it on Patreon. We did a fun game of Would You Rather last week, and it was a blast. We had a good time.
One of our listeners said it was gold.
Oh, yes. Nice.
Yeah. Was it Annette?
And that
And that's
Like
the
you said,
shout
best.
out to
like-
Nerd.
I think she said this is like quintessential Patreon.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
I thought last week was pretty good though.
It was.
Well, yeah, I had someone else say that. What do you do for work? When I was talking about, I found dead
And then
bodies.
you never responded. Yeah.
I haven't.
No, it's secret.
I'm going to say
We get it.
garbage. And just one word. Garbage.
Pornhub.
Pornhub. That's
Yeah.
what I do for work. That's
But
what the
ladies
dead
and
bodies are.
gentlemen, thanks for joining us. Stay tuned for our Office Reboot coming next season on NBC.
Don't challenge me.
Bye, all.